Hello and warm welcome to the Mangaung Oval. We are live from Bloemfontein where the ITEC Knights are taking on the Toyota Cheetahs. We apologize for the slight delay. We had some technical difficulties. As it stands now, the score is 33 for 1 after 5 overs. The batsman to be dismissed, Reinhard van Tonder, who was dismissed by a peach of a delivery from Roscoe Speckman. It looked to swing away and then nip back off the surface, which brought Umbelelu Budaza to the wicket. As it looks to be a change in bowling, Clayton Blommetjies, who was the keeper for Roscoe Speckman's first spell, will now be taking the ball from the commentary box end, which is also the Willows end. Earlier in the piece, Toyota Cheetahs captain Ruan Pinar opened the bowling from the Loch Logan end and bowled 2 or 3 tidy overs, as we saw Speckman from the Willows end reaping the rewards of bowling Reinhard van Tonder. 33 for 1 after 5 overs, as we see Clayton Blommetjies warming up at the Willows end. Blommetjies to Budaza from the Willows end. It's hit away into the vacant mid-wicket area. Mid-on comes around. Oh, it's a misfield. And 4 runs added to the tally. It's a nicely struck shot from Budaza, but one has to feel the fielder at mid-on might have done a bit better there, but fair play as Budaza adds 4 runs to the total. Blommetjies again in from the Willows end. And it's a big appeal for leg before wicket. And umpire Marlon Jansen gives him out. Budaza has to depart for a quick fired 9 runs. And a good piece of bowling from Blommetjies brings his innings to an end. And welcome to all our online viewers on YouTube and Pitch Vision. Thanks for joining us. It's Vian du Plessis live here, giving you guys the ball by ball action. And I will be keeping you guys up to date and company. We will be joined upstairs in the commentary box. I will be receiving a few friends up here. Some of the players will come up for brief interviews. Some of them might be Afrikaans, some of them might be English, but we will see who comes up first. And one of our comments, Benny Mini 27, Blommetjies kan bal. Blommetjies kan bal. Hy bal het mooi geswing. Very good piece of bowling there by Blommetjies. I have heard he has come across the road from the rugby practice to bowl a few in the nets on a few occasions, so I do feel he might be their strike bowler here tonight. Roscoe Speckman is the wicketkeeper at this stage. He did open the bowling from the Willows end. That's worked away off the legs to the square leg region where Frans Steyn does the tidying up and throws the ball in towards Roscoe Speckman, who is now the keeper. The new batsman at the wicket, who is off strike now, is Patrick Creer. And to answer the question, Speckman is keeping now, but Blommetjies kept wicket first, and now after Speckman's first spell they did just swap around. Slightly down leg, but not given wide by the umpire, and Miguel Pretorius trying to put that one on the embankments, but doing so unsuccessfully. Blommetjies in from the Willows end. Michael Pretorius once again into the mid-wicket region. They settle for one, which brings Patrick Creer back on strike. One of the newest residents in Bloemfontein of the ITEC Knights side. Work down the ground towards mid-on, where fielder does a tidying up and throws it in towards the bowler's end. That brings an end to Clayton Blommetjies' first over, that over conceding 7 runs and yielding the wicket of Umbelele Budaza for 9 runs. Just to have a look at the bowling figures and the bowlers to have been used. Rowan Pienaar opened the bowling from the Loch Logan end. He bowled 3 overs, 0 wickets for 19 runs. He bowled good areas and nice and accurately. From the Willows end, we had Roscoe Speckman bowling 2 overs, 1 for 14. And then Blommetjies came on to replace Speckman from the Willows end, and he reaped the rewards of a wicket in his first over. As we now see a change in bowling from the Loch Logan end. Looks to be off spin and it's hit down the ground. Plugs. It's good pitching wedge from Creer. And a good throw from the outfield. It looks to be Arnoldi who is bowling now. He's bowling from the Loch Logan end. It looks to be some tidy off spin, and we look forward to see if he can extract some spin from this surface. It's well bowled and hit down the ground for 1 by Miguel Pretorius. I will run through the Cheetahs and the Knights lineups after the over, just to tell you guys who is playing and so forth, so you can know who to watch out for. That's nicely bowled, and Patrick Creer nicks the ball, and a nicely taken catch from Roscoe Speckman, which sees the end of a rather swift Patrick Creer innings. And the Knights now sitting at 42 for 2 after 6.3 overs, and quite a good start here from the Toyota Cheetahs. Patrick Creer departs for 3 runs of 4 balls, and we have a very nice atmosphere here at the stadium tonight. It's a very nice evening, it's not hot, and lots of people have come in. I see Castle Corner is fully packed, so if you are in Bloemfontein and you want to come down and watch the cricket, please do so. I think it's 50 Rand a ticket, and come down and enjoy. It's a great atmosphere. It's nice to see live sports again, and especially the local guys, the Cheetahs and the Knights, going head to head here in a T20 at the Mangaung Oval. That wicket brings Gregory Matlokwana to the wicket, the Knights spin bowler. He of course bowls left and right-handed. As we hear the live band coming on now in the background, I don't know if the viewers at home can hear it, but it's quite loud and the vibe is electrifying. Once again, well bowled by Arnoldi, and he looks to be another maybe schoolboy cricketer that might have done well before going pro rugby player. As we know, quite a few of these guys have played a high-ish level of cricket at schoolboy level. As we see some good fielding and a bit of a wayward throw from the point region. Looks to be Blommetjies fielding at point, and Arnoldi with 1 delivery left with Miguel Pretorius on strike now. He's sitting on 21 of 20 deliveries, and it's going rather nicely at this stage. Oh, and he does it again. Miguel Pretorius plays it one outside off and could only nick it to the wicketkeeper Roscoe Speckman, who takes a neat catch, and the ITEC Knights now sitting at 43 for 4 and have to feel they're in a bit of trouble here. With the Cheetahs hitting the ground running, and it's been a good start here from the guys in darker blue than the Knights. Both teams of course playing in blue, but the ITEC Knights having orange helmets and orange pants, while the Toyota Cheetahs are playing in all blue colors. I'm going to run through the team lineups of the teams. So first I'm going to go through the Toyota Cheetah side. So we have Clayton Blommetjies, we have Speckman, Thompson, Pinaar, Steyn, De Toy, Arnoldi, Gieris, I think Coach Harvey's Fourie is also playing, Boshoff, and then John D. Oliver is the last man on the list. The Knights lineup is Pretorius, Van Tonder, Budaza, Patrick Creer, Matlokwana, Patrick Botha, Jacques Snyman, C.P. Kleinans, Mangaliso Mosegle, Jason Raubenheimer, and Alfred Matua. So that is the two lineups we have here tonight, as we see Clayton Blommetjies continuing from the Loch Logan end. And a huge swing from Matlokwana outside the off stump, and a bit of pressure building here on the Cheetah side. The Cheetahs have bowled really well, and they've put the Knights under immense pressure here on their home ground. Blommetjies to continue from the Loch Logan end. That's worked into the offside, into a deep point region where the fielding is done. And in the comments section now seeing Harvey's Kearness. Yeah, that's the guy that's playing. Apologies if I pronounced it incorrectly. My eyesight isn't all that good. I can't see all the way to the scoreboard at this stage to see all the names, but thanks for correcting me. It's Harvey's Kearness playing. It's nicely driven into the offside area from Botha, and it runs away for 4. It's a nice way to get off the mark and start off his innings. Blommetjies to continue again. Short delivery, and Botha misses out on that one. I have to feel it maybe sat a bit in the wicket and Botha a bit early on his shot. But I do see two fielders positioned out on the leg side. There's a deep wicket in place, as well as a deep square leg and long on, but not all the way out to the boundary. We also have a third man, deep point, and a long off in place. That's worked into the leg side, and the deep mid wicket fielder does the tidying up. It's a nice clean pickup, and looks to be Ron Pinaar out there on the fence, who does the fielding. And this Blommetjies over, still quite economical. One delivery to come, and it's Matlokwana who is on strike now. That's hit into the offside. The fielding is done. It's good fielding, but the batsmen come through for a single, and that brings the ITEC Knights total to 50 for a loss of 4 wickets after 8 overs. 3 boundaries only being hit so far, 3 fours and no sixes, as we see Arnoldi continuing again from the Loch Logan end, which is also the end with the big clock. If you know the field quite well, you'd know that the clock is on that side. That is the Loch Logan end. As we see Arnoldi coming through and around to Matlokwana. And it's hit towards long on. And it's put down. It goes away for 4. Which adds 4 runs to the total. And keeper Roscoe Speckman having a word with the veteran Frans Steyn, who is out there on the fence. He had a bit of a blunder now, but Speckman just letting him know what had to be done there. And he bowls him. Speckman does his classical dance, and Arnoldi cleans up yet another ITEC Knights batsman. His figures now 1.2 overs, 3 wickets for 7 runs, and one has to think that he might be in the wrong sporting code at this stage, with the ITEC Knights reeling at 54 for 5 after 8 overs. Just having a look who's going to be the new batsman coming out to join Patrick Botha at the crease. The Cheetahs have bowled and fielded extremely well. They've put the Knights under immense pressure, and it's made for good viewing. The embankments are full and joyful. The people are out here having a good time. There's families and kids, and one of the more attractive propositions for the fans. Castle Corner is booming, and it's clear skies. A nice evening. It's a wonderful night for cricket, and it's nice to see the lights on here in Bloemfontein. As the new batsman coming to the wicket is Jason Robenheimer. He comes out to join Patrick Botha, and one has to feel that the Knights need to get a partnership going here to prevent a bit of blushes at this stage. Arnoldi to continue through and around to the right-handed Robenheimer. It's hit out towards the deep extra cover region for a single, which brings the left-handed Patrick Botha back on strike. That's nicely played between backward point and in front of point region, and it's nicely chased down by the fielder, who reels it in for and keeps it down to 2 runs. I've just received information that the Cheetahs kicking coach Albert Kieres is playing, and that is the Kieres that is on the team sheet for the Cheetahs. So just to clear that one out for all the viewers at home. That's once again nicely played towards mid-off, and Botha strolls through for a single. But I have to say, Arnoldi has bowled really nicely. 1.5 overs, 3 for 11, and he has cleaned up the Knights' middle order this evening. That's hit out toward the long off region, where Frans Steyn does the tidying up and throws it in towards the bowling end, which is the Loch Logan end. That completes another impressive over from Arnoldi, and he has been impressive. As we see another change in bowling on the Willows end. Just waiting for confirmation on who the bowler is. Looks to be a left arm seamer coming in from the Willows end, which is also the grandstand end, or the main pavilion end, where the commentary box is located, as well as the scorer's box, as well as the changing rooms and the dugouts. So we're going to have a bit of left arm seam coming from the Willows end, and just waiting on confirmation to see who it is who is going to be bowling. Short and pulled away. That is 6 runs, and it's taken on the embankments. One of the spectators have taken a diving catch, and how nice it is to see the spectators in. Robenheimer pulls that one into the deep, and that's 6 runs, giving Castle Corner some action. Nicely played. That's once again hit. That's 6 more over mid wicket. That's 2 in a row from Robenheimer. First one over square leg. The second one is over deep mid wicket. And the bowler is maybe just missing his length a bit. And it is Cheetahs, the Cheetahs kicking coach, who is bowling now. And he might want to look to go a bit fuller here. That's played into the offside. They take a single towards the point region, which brings Patrick Botha back on strike. The score now 72 for 5 after 9.3 overs. This innings almost at its halfway stage, and it's been really entertaining. If you're at home and you want to come down, it's 50 Rand a ticket. Come on down, support the boys, and join in on the fun. How nice it is to have spectators out here tonight. Botha hits that one into the offside towards mid-off, where Oliver does the tidying up. So Kiernes pulling it back slightly. His first 2 balls going for 12, and then his next 2 only 2 singles. So let's see if he can finish out well here. That's short and punted down the ground towards mid-off by the right-handed Robenheimer, who strolls through for a single, which brings Botha back on strike for the last ball of the over. And this one could turn out expensive if he misses his mark again. That's once again well bowled. Pitched on middle and off, and seaming away slightly from the left-handed Botha. If he had missed that, it would have been in that top of off region. And Kiernes has finished off well, the first 2 being costly, but he did pull it back well. And it brings an end to a rather eventful over, and a good one for all the ITEC Knights. We're at the halfway stage now. It's 75 for 5 after 10 overs, and we'll see another one from Arnoldi. That's hit towards the long off region, where it's fielded very nicely, and Botha comes through for a single, giving the strike back to Robenheimer, who has been dynamic this evening so far. He's currently on 16 off 6 deliveries, I think, and it's been action filled. Nicely played towards the cover region, and Robenheimer once again gives a strike back to Botha, and one has to feel they might respect Arnoldi here and just look to see him through and maybe target some of the other bowlers. He has been exceptional. 2.2 overs, 3 for 14, and he has cleaned up the Knights middle order here tonight. Once again, a big shout for RBW, and umpire Heinrich says that one is maybe just sliding down leg. It was a big slog sweep attempt from Patrick Botha, unfortunately not connecting, bringing the spectators into play once again. Oh, well bowled, arm ball delivery. That one came up, seam up and swung in a bit. Keeper Roscoe Speckman wasn't up to the task, and it's 4 byes added to the total. Four byes, and that for the viewers is 4 runs, not against the wily Arnoldi, but that one is added to extras, which of course is wides, no balls, leg byes and penalty runs. The tally for the extras is now 5 runs, so it's been a rather disciplined fielding and bowling performance from the Toyota Cheetahs tonight. Work down the ground, and Franstein has a lot of ground to cover and does so well. The ball is thrown in on the bounce to Arnoldi, who is looking to get out of his over rather unscathed here. Still not going for a boundary as yet, and he has looked rather threatening. That's worked into the vacant mid-wicket or shorties mid-wicket region in between mid-on and mid-wicket, and they take a comfortable single, bringing an end to the 11th over. The score now 83 for 5 after 11. Robenheimer sitting on 18 and Botha on 12. Arnoldi 3 overs, 3 for 16, and 9 overs to come. The current rate is now 7.5 to the over. We might see a slight acceleration here with the explosive Jock Snyman and Sepe Kleinhans to come, as well as the South African capped Mangaliso Mosehle, of course having played for the Proteas a few years back in this T20 format as well. As we see Kiernes continuing from the Willows end, it's hit into the mid-wicket region for a single, which hands the strike back to Patrick Botha. And a rather nice partnership building here. It's 30 runs now, the partnership, and it's coming in good time. So makes for good viewing, especially if you're an ITEC Knights fan. Slashed away backward of point into the vacant third man region. The evergreen Frans Steyn jogs around and does the tidying up. Throws the ball in towards Roscoe Speckman at the keeper's end. And I have to say, Kiernes has bowled really well after those first 2 deliveries, which were proper looseners, as we speak in cricketing terms, long hops, and they were put away by Robenheimer. That's it uppishly towards long off, and the fielder at long off pulls out the parachute and lets it bounce. It looks to be John D. Oliver that's fielding at long off, and he definitely packed in his parachute tonight. Lets that one bounce in front of him, and Botha goes through for a single, handing the strike back to Robenheimer. It's a rather agricultural heave from Robenheimer, and they come through for a single towards the deep mid-wicket region. Kier's bowling figures now 1.4 overs, no wickets for 21 runs, which is not bad, keeping in mind the first 2 went for 12. 2 more to go in this over. Short and pulled away towards deep square leg, where a sliding fielder does the tidying up, and it's a good arm in from the boundary, and the relay comes from the mid-wicket fielder as the ball comes in towards the pitch again. Kier's again in from the Loch Logan end, and it's heaved away, but as they say, chalk that one towards deep mid-wicket, which means it hit the bottom of the bat, as in the chalk of a pool cue, and they come through for a single, which completes the 12th over. It's now 90 for the loss of 5 wickets with 8 overs to come. And we might see a change of bowling now from the Loch Logan end, unless Arnoldi will complete his spell here, which looks to be the case. Just waiting on confirmation on who is the bowler at this stage. And thanks to all the viewers that are chatting to me in the comment section. I really do appreciate it. Do feel free if you want to give someone a shout out or want to make a comment or something. If it is positive or funny or something, I will read it out. And Robenheimer goes on the reverse and they come through for a single. So yeah, do come down to the ground. It's 50 Rand entrance and the vibe is electrifying. It's live music. Castle corner is stocked up to the limit, and it does look like the spectators are supporting at their best and enjoying it to the fullest. That's short, and Botha has dispatched it onto the embankments, and it is put down just to the right of Castle corner in front of the Twizza Snoopy, I think. And that's 6 more runs added to the total. And I will shout down to them now to let Coach Harvey's bowl now, and it is JP de Toy who is bowling now from the Loch Logan end. It's not Arnoldi anymore. And Botha has greeted him with a biggie. That's worked into the onside, where they would go through for a single. I do look forward to seeing maybe Frans Steyn bowl a bit, and it would be nice to see Coach Harvey Fury putting in a few yards there for the boys. That is hit down the ground by Robenheimer, and they go through at a good pace to complete the single, and the scoreboard ticking on rather nicely now. The partnership sitting at 45, and both partners contributing 23, and the score now 99 for 5. Slog swept into the deep, and it's put down. I do think it's Thompson out on the fence, but my eyesight might deceive me. It was struck rather firmly and flat towards deep mid wicket, and the fielder put that one down. To Gerda Lamprechts, Roscoe het gebal. Hy het 2 overs gebal in die begin, hy het die bowling geopen. Hy het vir Reinhard van Tonder uitgehaal in sy einde van sy eerste over. That is it by Robenheimer for a single straight down the ground. So yeah, Roscoe Speckman opened the bowling. He completed 2 overs, 1 for 14, so he went at 7 to the over. He bowled nicely. Blommetjies kept wicket when he was bowling, and then after his spell they did cross over. Blommetjies bowled a few, and then Speckies got him behind the stumps to keep a bit of wicket. As you see a bit of a chat going on to decide who's going to bowl, and it does look like a few guys are gesturing at Coach Always Fury to loosen the shoulder, but it does look like Frans Steyn is coming in as well from the fine leg boundary, so I don't know who is going to win this one. Who's going to bowl? Is it going to be Frans or Coach Harvey's? We'll have to wait and see, but Frans Steyn at this stage has the ball in his hand as he enters your screen now. Frans Steyn is in the warm-ups. I saw him bowling a few seam-up deliveries, and it looked like he was hitting the deck rather nicely. Frans, of course, a well-renowned product of Grey College in Bloemfontein, as is a few of the other guys in this team as well. That is short and wide. Missing out is Robenheimer. The umpire says that that is not a wide. Sean Redder, who is captaining the Cheetahs. I think Ron Pienaar is captain. I didn't see at the toss, but I do think he went to do the toss. And it looked like Jacques Snyman did the toss for the ITEC Knights. So as far as my knowledge goes for this evening, I think Ron Pienaar is captain for the Cheetahs side, and I do think Jock Snyman is the captain for the Knights. That is hit down the ground into the long on region for 6 runs, and long on fielder Ron Pienaar could only stand and admire the shot as Raubenheimer once again opens his arms and has a nice swing of the bat, clearing the fence rather easily, giving the spectators something to field as well. Frans Steyn once again in from the Willows end. Ooh, and that's a cheeky little shot from Raubenheimer. It's a reverse lap shot towards third man, and they come through for a single. Frans Steyn with 2 more deliveries to come in the over, as we see Patrick Botha eyeing that deep mid-wicket region. That was a really good shot from Raubenheimer, who has been quite dynamic since coming to the wicket. That's hit down the ground, and Botha not getting all of that one. Nicely fielded by, it looks like Boshoff, I think, who is fielding down at long on for the left-handed batsman, and long off for the right-handed batsman. Frans Steyn once again in towards Raubenheimer. Flicked away into the onside, 2 fielders converging, and I think it's Thompson who does the tidying up. Good arm from Brandon Thompson from the deep square leg region in front of Castle Corner, and it does look like the spectators are having a bit of chatter there with the players, as we have seen the players doing a few rounds, walking around, taking pictures, giving autographs, and just mingling a bit with the audience. And I do feel it's nice, especially for the youngsters coming out to watch their heroes. It's now rugby and cricket heroes in the Free State on one field. So as a youngster growing up in the Free State, what more do you want? All sporting codes on display, and all your heroes on one pitch. So I do think it's a good initiative from both parties. And I do hope it becomes an annual thing. We will try and get Frans Steyn on comms later on, and if you have any questions that you want me to ask him, I would do so. And that is taken by Roscoe Speckman, giving the bowler a wicket. Raubenheimer going on the switch hit, getting a top edge, and Speck is, as we know, has pace to burn, runs it in and catches it almost on the ring in a point region. So I don't know, with Speckman on the field, you don't need many other fielders. He can cover a whole lot of space himself. So that sees the end of Jason Raubenheimer for an explosive 32, leaving the score 110 for 6 after 14 overs, and bringing an end to a rather ominous looking partnership. Raubenheimer, of course, scoring 32 of 20 deliveries, 3 dots, 0 fours and 3 sixes. So Raubenheimer wasn't looking to use the carpet this evening. He was looking to infiltrate the spectators and giving the viewers full value for their money. That's what the people have come to see. They've come to see a few wickets being bowled out the ground and a few sixes being hit. So I do feel it's full value for money so far for the people that have come out to support their heroes. New batsman to the crease looks to be Mangaliso Mosele. Of course, he is a capped Protea cricketer. He of course made his T20 debut a few years back for the Proteas as a wicketkeeper batsman, so I do look forward to seeing him batting here tonight. That's it, firmly down the ground, and the fielders hardly move. It's 4 runs towards Patrick Botha, who has hit that with immense power down the ground. The score now 114 for 6, And Patrick Botha now on 29, not out. And he has looked rather comfortable this evening. The toy once again in. Ooh, and he does a dummy run. Maybe just building a bit of tension here on Patrick Botha. Now we have to wonder what's the next delivery coming here. Oof. That's nicely picked up by Botha, who has absolutely dispatched that ball from his presence. That's over deep mid wicket for 6 more. Once again giving Castle Corner something to look out for, and I do see a few umbrellas there at Castle Corner, and I don't think it's for the rain. I think it's to protect themselves and their drinks this evening. The toy once again in. Oh, it's a big shout, but umpire Heinrich says that one is just missing the off peg. But it was a well bowled delivery from the toy in a Yorker-ish length. And Botha looking to sweep that one once again towards the Castle Corner area, which is packed this evening. As we have seen spectators come out, and it's lovely to see them out here. It's families, it's everyone out enjoying their time. As we see a rather wayward delivery from the toy, and just giving his apologies to his teammates. And a lot of comments coming in that wants to see Blommetjies bowl, and a lot of people wanting to see Coach Harvey's bowl a few, and I do hope that we do see him bowling. Once again down the leg side, and the batsman not happy at all that is not being called a wide. But of course, in the spirit of this game, the umpires will of course let a few of those ones slide, just to make it competitive and fun. Ooh, and a huge swing from Mosele, and he, apart from hitting the pitch, I think he didn't make a lot of contact with the ball, and doing a bit of gardening there, putting the pitch back. As we see another completed the toy over, and Frans Steyn looks to be coming into bowl again. And once again, I want to encourage you guys to participate in the chat. If you want to give someone a shout out, or maybe bring something under my attention, I am reading the comments, and I'd love to interact with you guys. So once again, Frans Steyn coming in from the Willows end towards Patrick Botha, who has looked good this evening. Oh, what a shot. Patrick Botha turns around right-handed and sweeps the ball towards fine leg for 4, and that is well played. And Anita Meyer sê Aranos bal ook goed. Ek sal like om te sien dat hy 'n paar overs bal. So ja, 5 overs oor in die innings. Ek wonder wat gaan hulle doen van hier af. Once again, hit out in towards the deep mid-wicket region. And it is taken, a nicely taken catch from Clayton Blommetjies. Baie goeie vangskoot deur Clayton Blommetjies, en Frans Steyn maak sy spanmaats plat, en dit lyk soos 'n losgemaal, net so aan 'n 10 meter aan 'n kant die binnering. Frans Steyn wat dan die deurbraak maak vir sy span, wat die telling nou op 126 vir verlies van 7 paaltjies bring, wat Patrick Botha se golfbeer dan beëindig. En die nuwe cover na die paaltjies bring. Wag net vir confirmation. Dit is CP Kleinhans, nog 'n plaaslike produk van Grey College, wat nou uitkom om te golf hierso vir die ITEC Nights vanaand. En het gaan interessant wees om te sien wat hy vanaand hierso vir ons kan doen. Van wat ek weet van Kleinhans is hy slaat die bal lekker hard en ver, so ek dink die mense is in vir 'n goeie show. So yeah, spectators, please come down to the ground. 50 Rand entrance, and Castle Corner is booming. There's a live band, and it's a really electrical vibe going at the Mangaung Oval. I think everyone's just thankful to have live sports again, and can you blame them? Gerda Lamprecht saying we should host another game where the Knights should play rugby against the Cheetahs. I think it would be a good initiative as well. I do however feel that ons kan nie vol kontak speel nie. 'n Lekker game touchies dalk. Ek weet van die cricketmanne was ook goeie rugby spelers gewees. A lot of them playing a good level of rugby at Grey College, and I feel if we can have a lekker game of touchies, it would be a good game. I think Speckies and Blomme might keep them busy, but I feel it will be good, and especially for the Gees in Bloemfontein. That's once again well bowled by Frans Steyn, who looks to be loosening up now, bowling at a good click and keeping the batsmen busy here. Shout out from Warwick en Andy on Clayton, blommetjies met vlamme. That is bowled outside off, and Kleinhans slashes at that one. Unfortunately misses out. I do feel this is probably a huge moment in Kleinhans' career, facing up to perhaps one of his childhood heroes, as Kleinhans was also a really promising fly-off at Grey College, I have heard. Now facing up to Frans Steyn, who I have heard is not a bad rugby player either. So I think it's a big moment, maybe one of the bigger moments in Kleinhans' career, as Frans Steyn nears the end of his over, and he has bowled well this over especially. Ooh, that one just evading the leg stump, and umpire Marlon Jansen just indicating that might have clipped his pad on the way through. So no extra signaled, and that completes the 16th over. That means 24 legitimate deliveries to come. The score now 127 for 7 after 16 overs, and 4 overs to come. Kleinhans and Mosele at the crease now, and Jacques Snyman he's also a capped Protea. He's still waiting in the wins to come and finish off this inning, so sit tight, and I don't think you want to miss the last 4 overs of the ITEC Knights innings. It looks to be a change of bowling from the Loch Logan end. It's John D. Oliver. He was also a product of Grey College and first team cricketer a few years back. So let's see what he has. Kleinhans and Oliver, of course, being teammates at school. Having a little middle practice here tonight at the Mangaung Oval. Oliver to Mangi at the... Oh, it's nicely bowled and well kept out by Mosele, and nicely fielded by Pinar at point. And he did a bit of a tumble and a London bridge, and it looks like Coach Always Fury that had to tidy up behind Pinar. Oliver again in from the Loch Logan end. Some tidy off spin and hit out towards the cover region. Cover has a lot of work to do, and he cannot come around. It's 4 runs to Siapia Kleinhans, who has absolutely hammered that ball through the cover region, and that's 4 more added to the total. So Oliver in again from the Loch Logan end. Oof. And that has been absolutely belted into the stands by Kleinhans over the deep mid wicket region for an absolute monster of a 6. That was hit with immense power by Kleinhans. And the spectators in for good viewing if Kleinhans can stick around. Yeah, he has now 12 of 8 deliveries, if I see correctly there. Oliver now 2 deliveries to come. Once again, hit between point and backward point. And the chase is on from Blommetjies. And the ball wins the race. It's 4 more. Kleinhans has come out with immense impetus, and he has hit a few crisp shots here, and he really has looked good here, putting his former teammate John D. Oliver to the sword. Wie gaan open vir die Cheetahs? Rohan en Blommetjies of Rohan en Frans? Once again, hit over cover by Kleinhans. And Oliver has gone the distance in this over. 1 over, 0 wickets for 20 runs. And if I were the captain, I would consider giving Coach Harvey's one here, maybe a golden arm opportunity. The score now 147 for 7 after 17 overs. Kleinhans on 20 and Moselo on 1. The partnership now 21. And what's the viewers at home? What are your thoughts on who should open the batting here at the Mangong over for the Cheetahs? As the team list is, it's Blommetjies and Speckman at the top. But early on I did hear that Pienaar might open the batting. I have heard that he is a good, well, at school he was one of Grey College better batsmen as well. So I don't know how accurate my information is, but I do look forward to seeing him here tonight. And if he can open the batting and maybe get going here, we might have a close encounter. 3 overs to come, as we see Frans Steyn with ball in hand. Speckman not behind the stumps anymore. It looks like Rohan Pienaar has taken the gloves behind the wickets, with Speckman here in Frans Steyn's ear, who comes in from the Willows end. And Mosele once again misses out on a leg stump ball. Foolish on leg stump. And a dot ball, something that is worth gold in a T20, especially at the latter part of the innings. 17 deliveries, or legitimate deliveries, to come in the innings. And one of the comments coming in from Casper the Flagman, saying Coach Harvey's and Rohan must open, and it would be good viewing if they do, as Mosele bunts that one down the ground towards Speckman for a single, and one must feel you won't get more than one if you hit it on the ground in within a few meters of Speckman. Frans Steyn around the wicket. Kleinhans hits it towards deep square leg, a vacant deep square leg. Blommetjies comes around, does the tidying up, and C.P. Kleinhans comes through for a second run. And he has looked good this evening. He has been dynamic, he has been explosive, and he has really brought some impetus into the night's innings. A night's innings who are now approaching 150 run mark, as we see Speckman fielding directly behind the umpire. And that is a well bowled and well executed wide Yorker from Frans Steyn. Any bowling coach's dream delivery in the death, the wide Yorker, really handy delivery. That is hit towards Coach Harvey's, and he takes the catch at deep extra cover. Coach Harvey's has taken the catch, and Kleinhans departs. Frans Steyn gets the wicket, and he absolutely cleans Coach Harvey's with appreciation for taking the catch. And Frans Steyn, the death bowler, has done his job here. It looks like the Knights now 150 for the loss of 8 wickets, as the new batsman that will come out is Jock Snyman, who I have heard is the captain for this evening. Jock Snyman is, of course, for the viewers that perhaps don't know him, he is a capped Protea. He toured Pakistan, I think it was last year, and he made his debut there in the T20 format for the South African senior side. And he is, of course, a top order batsman by trade. He's not usually so low down in the order, but of course, to make the game interesting, they will give a few guys opportunities. As we see, Warwick Vrieslaar, ek hoop ek spreek dit reg uit. Cheetahs kan hulle span in cricketliga inskryf. Hulle sal goed doen en ek moet saamstem. Hulle sal hierdie Bloemfontein liga definitief besig hou. En dit sal interessant wees om te sien hoe hulle doen. That is hit down the ground by Mosehle, and with Speckman patrolling the boundary, they do complete 2 runs. Speckman does the tidying up, and another impressive Franstein over comes to an end. As we near the end of the innings, 2 overs left to come, 152 for 8. And the spectators are having an absolute ball. The children are playing on the embankments. Families are out. The braaivleisvure are going, and the beers and the gees are in tonight. And it looks like we will have what the viewers have asked for. It is, or it will be now, Clayton Blommetjies coming in from the Loch Logan end. And we are in for an interesting 12 deliveries in this innings. And it has been an impressive night and an impressive display from the Cheetahs, especially. Very disciplined bowling and fielding performance. And I have to say, the gees has been exceptional at the Mangaung Oval this evening. That is well played into the cover region by Jacques Snyman. And Thompson does the tidying up and throws it in towards Blommetjies. As I said earlier, we will be having a few guests up here this evening. They will be sending up a few of the manna. I have heard that Franstein might be making a guest appearance up here. I will just maybe follow up on that one. If there is maybe someone in particular you would want on comms this evening, or I should go and try and fetch for you guys, maybe put it in the comments section. I will try my utmost best to bring you guys the full experience. So hit me up there in the chat box and we'll see what we can do. Clayton Blommetjies has been impressive this evening, and I have heard that he has come over from the rugby stadium on a few occasions to bowl a few deliveries at the Knights batsmen in the past. So not a surprise that he is one of the more impressive bowlers on display, as that one is worked towards the deep square leg behind square region, and Speckman does the tidying up as they complete another single. That is hit out towards the mid-off and deep extra cover region, and a good arm from, I do think it's Oliver out there, and good backing up from, I think it's Boshoff at mid-wicket, preventing a few overthrows. So yeah, give me your thoughts. Who would you like to have on comms with me this evening? Jacques Snyman has belted that one over long on for an absolute monster of a 6. That has crashed into the side screen on the opposite end. That is the Loch Logan end, giving the side screen some attention there. So as I said earlier, give me a shout out and I'll try my utmost best to try and get the people on comms. If you have questions that you want me to ask them or something, I will do so and try my best to keep you guys entertained to the best of my ability. Pite is not playing this evening. That is Jacques Pite is sitting out I think he's fulfilling like a coaching role this evening. Yeah, Rohan Pinar is playing. He opened the bowling. And I do also presume that he is the captain of the side. He bowled 3 overs, 0 wickets for 19 runs, and he bowled a bit of spin. He bowled a few offies and a few leggies, a bit of a mixed bag. But he did bowl quite wily with the new nut for the Cheetahs side. Speckman to end the innings. Oof, and that's a biggie. That's heading out onto the roof of Castle Corner. That's an absolute monster. Nobody could catch that one, not even anyone in the stands. And that's on the roof of Castle Corner. Jacques Snyman has absolutely deleted that ball. And it is reeled in from the embankments, and that has gone an absolute country mile. Once again short, and this one has gone even further. It's gone into the Twizzer. Snoopy there in the corner behind Castle Corner. 6 more, and that one is even further back into the stands. Roscoe Speckman copping a bit of tap here from the explosive Jacques Snyman. And maybe going for 6 out of 6 here. He misses out on that one. Looks like they're pushing for 2. And they come back for the second. And it's completed quite easily as Coach Harvey's does the tidying up at long on. And reels it in towards Roscoe Speckman at the bowler's end. That has been absolutely demolished. That is out of the stands, over the embankments and into the trees behind the small scoreboard. Jacques Snyman has absolutely demolished that ball, and giving the trees some attention there, and maybe waking up a few birds there just opposite the embankments. The score now 183 for 8, and 2 more balls to come. Speckman around the wickets. Oh, and Jacques Snyman goes for a big swing and misses out on that one. Speckman now 1 ball left in his spell and also the innings. Jacques Snyman now batting on 30. And that is the end of the innings. And apologies, it has been Piet van Biljon who was batting, and it was not Jacques Snyman. The scoreboard was saying Jacques Snyman was batting. He was listed, and Piet van Biljon was not listed on the list, and he did come in ahead of Snyman. The batsman at the end who was hitting the ball so nicely was then Piet van Biljon, and that the innings ends on 183 for 8 after 20 overs, and we'll have a quick break and a change of innings, and we will see what we can do to get a few guys on comms as we see the boundary rope being brought just a bit closer for the Cheetah players. So don't go far. We'll be right back with the second innings of the Knights versus Cheetahs game. So sit tight. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back. As we see a full slip cordon and Mosele opening the bowling from the boundary and the batsman pulling away. That must be disappointing for the bowler, who is now probably winded to the max. As we see Mosele once again coming back towards his mark, really much shortened mark, and he is in towards Blommetjies, who misses out on that one. Mosele, of course, being a wicket-keeper by trade, and the field now being spread. Clayton Blommetjies, of course, missing out on that previous one, and Mosele's run up getting ever closer to the wickets. Oh, it's through and around, off spin, and it's hit over mid-off, and it will run away towards the cover boundary for 4, where Gerald Coetzee, who is on the sidelines, it looks, does the tidying up. That is it through the mid-wicket region for 4, and Blommetjies has got the Toyota Cheetahs off to a flyer here. As the score moves on to 8 for the loss of no wickets. And Blommetjies putting the Knights bowling attack to the sword early on in the piece. That is it down the ground, 4 more, and Blommetjies moves to 12. He has really looked the part as a cricketer this evening. First up with the ball and now with the bat. Really dominating Mosele so far, as we see them having a slight word, a bit of aggression shown by Mosele, and I think if he could, he would bowl a bumper now, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. Mosele now with 2 deliveries to go in the over. That is it towards deep mid-wicket, and that's a 6. Clayton Blommetjies moves to 18 of 5 deliveries, and that gives Mosele a slight shoulder injury, and I have to feel that my shoulder would hurt as well if I get hit like that. Oi, and Mosele with his Kedar Yadav impersonation, and well bowled to end the over. The Cheetahs now on 17 for no loss after 1 over, and Clayton Blommetjies on 17 of 6 deliveries, and I don't think the Cheetahs could have asked for much of a better start than that this evening here at the Mangaung Oval. Once again, I would like to encourage you guys to participate in the comment section, give us your thoughts and views, and I would like to chat with you guys and interact, hear your thoughts on the games, and do share the link, get the viewership in. Let's all enjoy. What a wonderful shot. Blommetjies pulls out the pitching wedge and strolls through for 2, as that ball evades the mid-off region and plugs in the outfield of the Mangaung Oval. which is in fine condition at this stage. Really good rain season Bloemfontein region has had. That's hit firmly towards mid-on, where C.P. Kleinhans does the tidying up. And Snyman to continue. Aing! And he hits the umpire. Blommetjies has hit that straight back, and he has connected with the umpire on his elbow. Umpire Heinrich is down. He has been struck on the elbow, and I do feel this will be a breakage in play, and I will try and zoom out the camera and get it sorted for you guys now while we have a break in play and the umpire is attended to. So do comment, and we will be right back after this. Alright, we are back at the Mangaung Oval, and I did zoom out a bit. Keep in mind, I'm not a technician, neither do I know how these equipments work, but I did zoom out a bit now, and I think it looks a bit better now. As the score now 20 for no loss after 2 wickets, 20 for no loss after 2 overs, and alright, ek bly dat lyk vir hulle daar 'n bietjie beter, as we see Mosele once again coming from the Willow's End, and Blommetjies on strike to face now up to Mosele, who will be coming around, and he has an interesting run up, and a no ball is called for, it looks to be a fielding restrictions, no ball, which means there are more fielders out on the fence that are allowed to be out, seeing as only 2 fielders are allowed outside within the power play. Blommetjies on the slog sweep, and he has did that miles in the air. Snyman takes the catch, but of course it was a free hit, so Clayton Blommetjies is not out, and the score now 21 for no loss after 2 overs. That is hit into the cover region by Oliver. And they come through for a single. As the live band comes back into play and the crowd sings along. I don't know if the fans at home can hear it, but the atmosphere down at the Mangong Oval is electrifying. And once again, it is good to see everybody out here, and the banks look rather packed towards Castle Corner. As we see a misfield from Budaza, and Blommetjies comes through for a single, which takes the score now to 24 for no loss after 2.5 overs. Mosele's second over being a lot more economical than his first so far. And the Cheetahs doing well to attack the power play so far. That is it with immense power, and that's 6 runs from John D. Oliver. That goes sailing over the long on region for 6. And I have to fear that I have put the commentator's curse on Mosele, because the previous delivery I did say is bowling a lot better and more economically, and the next delivery is a long op which goes sailing into the embankments. So my apologies to Mr. Mosele. And a well bowled delivery from Mosele, leaving him with one more delivery to come in the over. He's 1.5 overs thus far, going for 27 runs, and of course him being wicketless in the process. And a missed opportunity by the Knights that was worked into the onside by Oliver. A mix up in the middle, and the mid-wicket fielder could not get the throw in, and the clean up from the wicketkeeper was not done efficiently to create the opportunity for a wicket. But nonetheless, the over comes to an end. Mosele now 2 overs, none for 28, and the score now 31 for no loss after 3. The bowler from the Loch Logan end being Jock Snyman. His first over, of course, going for 3 runs. So well bowled first over. But I do feel some action might be coming in this one. As the umpire was struck in the previous over, he will be making his way off the park, and he will be replaced by the third umpire for the remainder of this match. So I do encourage you all to participate in the comments section. Get some chat going. I'd like to see your opinions and interact with you guys to give you guys the full experience. Oliver works into the onside, and I do feel a direct hit might have had him. They complete the single, and that brings Clayton Blommetjies back on strike. That's an excellent shot down the ground, 2 fielders converging. Mid-on does the tidying up and throws it in towards Jock Snyman's end. They come through for 2. And it does look like Blommetjies hasn't been missing his net sessions for a couple of years now. That's a well bowled delivery from Jock Snyman, and well negotiated as well by Blommetjies. Jock Snyman, of course, being an off-spin bowler by trade, and for the festivities this evening, he's bowling a few seam-ups. Well taken by Gregory Matlokwana at keeper. Gregory, of course, is the spinner for the Knights. in normal circumstances. But he has done a handy job so far behind the stumps, tidying up a few wayward deliveries thus far. It's a single towards mid-off. And it's a no ball. The umpire signals that that will be a no ball and a free hit to John D. Oliver. He has hit that down the ground, but not a lot of power behind the shot. And they come through for a single. So another Snyman over goes on past. 2 overs, 0 wickets for 9 runs. He has bowled economically, and his seam-ups have been miserly and effective this evening so far. As you see, a change of bowling from the Willows end and a polite act for the fielding side, maybe tidying up on the wicketkeeper's laces. Patrick Botha in from the Willows end, and he is bowling his off spin, which he usually does. He is an off spinner by trade, and he does so from the Willows end this evening. It's once again bowled into the pads. It looked to shape away a bit in the air. Not a lot of stern on offer thus far. But a good area bowled by Botha. That's straight up in the air. Mid-wicket coming around. Budaza takes the catch. And that is the end of Clayton Blommetjies. He departs for a well-bowled 25. Well played 25, and Patrick Botha dismisses the informed Clayton Blommetjies. Clayton Blommetjies, 25 runs of 19 deliveries, 4 fours and 0 sixes. It was a brief innings, but a good one. He has got his team off to a good start. And the next batsman coming out to the middle is one that will excite all the viewers, as it is Roscoe Speckman coming out to the middle, replacing Clayton Blommetjies. The batsman, of course, crossing, which brings John D. Oliver on strike, who cuts that away, backward of point, and this will run away to the boundary for 4. Excellently played, nicely watched, and great timing. Sees another 4 runs added to the Toyota Cheetahs total, and Patrick Botha missing his mark ever so slightly, and dealt with by Oliver. Patrick Botha now 4 deliveries, 1 wicket for 5 runs, and he has 2 more to come in the over. Let's head out towards the deep square region where Patrick Creer does the fielding, and a good arm sees the ball coming in towards the wicket keeper. Roscoe Speckman now to face his first delivery. of the match. Pat Botha coming around the wickets as we see the fielding side in Specky's ears there. Botha in towards Speckman. He has absolutely belted that one, and it has gone all the way for 6. And it's a no ball as well from Botha. What a start from Speckman. He looks to be an impact player on the rugby field as well as the cricket field. It's well bowled by Pat Botha. Unfortunately for the Knights, it was a free hit, and Speckman then missing out on that one. Looks to be another delivery coming in the over now. Oh, it's nicely played, backward of square, well watched, and late cut from Roscoe Speckman sees that ball being escorted through the third man region for 4, and 4 more added to the total of the Toyota Cheetahs. That brings up, oh well, the previous one brought up to 50. The score now 54 for 1 after 5 overs. And having a look at the bowling figures, it's Mosele 2 overs, none for 28. The Cheetahs now after 5 overs 54 for 1. The Knights at the same stage were 33 for 1 after 5 overs. So the Cheetahs at this stage being 21 runs ahead, and the wickets being the same. As we see a change in the bowling, it will be Reinhard van Tonder that will be bowling from the Loch Logan end this evening. And that's a wicket for Van Tonder. It looked to be an off-break delivery bowled inside edge onto the pad, straight up in the air, and taken by the wicketkeeper for the Knights. And I think that might be Reinhard's first ever wicket in cricket. I'm not sure what happened now. The batsman came back to bat again. So I'm not sure what happened, but that is once again called no ball by the square leg umpire. No ball for height, and it's tidied up in the deep mid-wicket region. The ball is hurled in towards Van Tonder, who collects the ball cleanly. Oliver has smoked that ball in towards the side screen region for a massive 6. So Oliver making the most of his reprieve and making the Knights pay now. Van Tonder into Oliver, cut into the offside, and they come through for a single, which brings Roscoe Speckman back on strike. That's worked into the onside. Michael Pretorius puts up the chase and comes around to tidy up. And the batsmen come through for a second, which takes the score to 67 for 1 after 5 overs. And we are in for a thriller here this evening if the Cheetahs can maintain this run rate. That is it out towards deep mid wicket, where it is cut off by the fielder and they come through for another run. Van Tonder's over 5 balls gone, 1 to come, and he has gone for 14 runs at this stage. And it's punched into the offside and they come through for another single, completing the over, leaving Van Tonder with 1 over, 0 for 15. The other bowlers to have bowled: Pat Botha, 1 over, 1 for 17. Snyman 2 overs, 0 for 9. And Mosele 2 overs, 0 for 28. As you see, another change in the bowling. Patrick Creer coming into the attack from the Willows end. John D. Oliver on strike, facing up to Patrick Creer, who will be coming from the Willows end. And the crowd seems to be having a ball with the live band going there tonight. They scamper a single towards cover, which brings Roscoe Speckman back on strike. That is hit out towards the sweeper region, where Miguel Pretorius does the tidying up and throws it in, and an overthrow brings about another run, keeping Roscoe Speckman on strike. That's a leg break delivery from Patrick Creer, and that's worked into the onside for a single, giving the strike back to Oliver, and giving Speckman a bit of a breather on the non-strikers end. A bit of a chat between Patrick Creer and Mosele, bit of tactics, where to bowl, what to do. Oh, it's an offie. Worked into the onside, and Van Tonder does well to stop the single. That's once again hit out towards the deep mid-wicket region, and that is 6 runs to Oliver. That is well struck and into the advertising boards, and he has looked good. That takes him into the 30s. He's now sitting at 33 not out of 21 deliveries, and that takes the total to 79 for 1, and there is 1 delivery to come in this over. This over, of course, being the 6th over. 7th over. The 7th over, excuse me. That is the end of the over. 7 overs gone. The score is now 79 for 1 after 7 overs. The partnership now into the 40s, and Oliver sitting nicely at 33 not out. To come to Sean Reder's question, who's at slip? I do believe that is Jason Robenheimer, who was at slip for Patrick Creer for the previous over. As you see, another change in bowling from the Loch Logan end. It's Michael Pretorius who will be bowling. It looks like a few off-spin deliveries here this evening. It's not off-spin, it's a few steps and a seam up, and it's dispatched through the cover region for 4, and it's well played by Speckman, taking the score into the 80s, and it's now 83 for 1 after 7 overs, with Speckman moving into the 20s now. Once again short and hit with good power towards mid-off, where it is fielded by Kleinhans, who throws it back to Michael Pretorius, who now bowls an off-spin delivery, and it is worked into the leg side. They come through for a single, and Mosele does the tidying up. Speckman handing the strike back to Oliver, who has looked in good touch. Oh, that is edged, and Jacques Neyman chases the ball from the point region and does a tidying up at third man to throw the ball in towards the wicket keeper, and an edge that evades the wicket keeper, and they complete 2 runs. Oliver now on 35, not out, and the partnership creeping ever closer to 50. That is it, inside out over cover. It's 4 more added to the total. That takes the partnership to 50, and John D. Oliver moves to 39, not out. He has hit that rather crisply over the covers, and one has to say it was a bit of a buffet ball from Pretorius, but well dealt with by Oliver. Once again, up and over the covers, 4 more. That ball strolls towards Castle Corner, and Oliver moves into the 40s. The score now 94 for 1 after 8 overs, and we are in for a thriller here at the end between the Cheetahs and the Knights. The Cheetahs now require 90 runs to win of 72, and that is well within reach, and we are in for a good finish here tonight. And we have a change of bowling from the Willows end. We have Jason Robenheimer who will be bowling, looks like around the wicket, right arm around. He is an off spinner by trade, so we will have to look and see what he will be bowling for us this evening. But it does look like he will be bowling his off breaks around the wicket towards Roscoe Speckman. And this might be an important time of the innings. If the Cheetahs can get away here, it might be one-way traffic from there. It looks to be a short run-up seam-ups that Robenheimer is bowling this evening. Right arm around, it looked to be swinging into the left-handed Speckman. That is hit towards the vacant mid-on region, and it will run away for 4. It's well struck by Speckman, and that takes the score ever closer to 100. The score now 98 for 1 after 8 overs, and Speckman sitting nicely on 25. The partnership now 60 between Oliver and Speckman. Robenheimer to continue. That is dabbed into the onside, and the quickly scampered single sees Oliver regaining the strike. And the score now 99 for 1 after 8.3 overs. That is it. Over mid on. And that runs away for 4. Jacques Neyman did his best. He got up high, but just too good a connection from Oliver. Sees the ball running away to the fence for 4. That takes him ever so much closer to his half century. Robenheimer to continue to Oliver from the Willows end. That is dabbed into the offside, where Reinhard van Tonder comes around from the point region, tidies up and keeps it to only 1. One more delivery to come in the over from the Willows end. Speckman on strike and Robenheimer into ball. That is it, and struck nicely. The ball plugs in the outfield at a vacant long on region. Jacques Neyman comes around from the mid-off region to haul it in towards the wicket keeper. And Jacques Neyman is getting in a few yards this evening. That brings an end to the 9th over. Score now 106 for 1 after 9 overs, and the partnership now sitting at 68. Oliver and Speckman going nicely, with Oliver on 48 not out and Speckman sitting on 28 not out. The equation now, the Toyota Cheetahs require 78 from 66 deliveries, and we are in for a good finish. Sepia Kleinhans in from the Loch Logan end, and it's short and put away through the vacant deep and wicket region, and 4 more added to the total. That sees John D. Oliver going to 52. That is his half century, and it takes the Toyota Cheetahs total to 110 for 1 after 9.1 overs. Oliver 52 not out of 28 deliveries, 5 fours and 3 sixes. The run rate, they are going out now 12 and over, and the required rate 6.8. That is hit out towards deeper wicket, where the fielder does a tidying up and they complete the single. This brings Roscoe Speckman back on strike. Kleinhans coming around the wicket now from the Loch Logan end. Roscoe Speckman on strike. That is a well bowled delivery and a big appeal for LBW. The umpire is unmoved, maybe just indicating that it will miss the off stump, or perhaps the impact was outside the off stump. Halfway through this over now. That is hit away towards long on, where Patrick Creer does the tidying up and hauls it back into Kleinhans. The batsmen converge and complete 2 runs that would be added to the total. Kleinhans to Oliver. Short and put away. Oliver has dispatched that one onto the embankments for 6. And this is turning out to be quite an expensive over once again from the Knights. And Oliver putting this Knights attack to the sword. Oliver turning left-handed for that one and works it into the leg side, where the fielder does a tidying up, and that brings an end to Kleinhand's over, an expensive one at that. It's 1 over, 0 for 15, and the equation now, the two other Cheetahs require 63 runs from 60 deliveries, and that also brings an end to Oliver's innings as he retires out, bringing the new batsman to the crease, and it looks to be Juan Pinar coming out to bat. The new batsman to the crease is in fact Pinar. Just waiting on confirmation from the scorer's box, but it does look to be Juan Pinar that has come out to bat, and I do feel he is a fan's favourite, definitely, and the spectators have come out to see him bat. The score now at the halfway mark, 121 for 1 for 2 now with the retired out wicket of Oliver. The score now 121 for 1 after 10 overs. Apologies, the score was changing. But we see Michael Pretorius coming in from the Willows end. He will be bowling towards Juan Pinar. Two left-handers out in the middle now, and a play and miss outside the off stump from Pinar, as the Cheetahs now require 63 runs from 59 deliveries, and the Knights now require a few wickets to stay in the hunt. That is nicely driven from Pinar. It does not look like he has put down his cricket bat at all. That's nicely driven through the covers for 4. And just something about that left-hander's elegance when playing a drive. Juan Pinar, no different. And really nicely played cover drive by Pinar for 4. Another drive down the ground, 4 more. Juan Pinar making it look ever too easy out there. Two exquisite drives from Pinar coming out to the middle, making it look like he hasn't stopped playing cricket ever in his life. Making the game of cricket look just too easy. Once again, driven down the ground where Snyman does the tidying up and throws it in towards the wicketkeeper that is situated at the Loch Logan end. Pretorius into Speckman, and it's play and miss outside the off stump. Nicely collected by the wicketkeeper, Matlokwana, and Pretorius looking to get out of his over economically here. Once again, swing and a miss outside the off stump by Speckman. And that brings an end to the over. Michael Pretorius over comes to an end. And that is the end of the 11th over. The score now 130 for 1 after 11 overs. Speckman sitting on 29 and Juan Pinar on 9, not out. The equation now 54 at a runner ball, and the Knights would really appreciate a few wickets here. As we see Budaza coming into the attack from the Loch Logan end. Ruan Pinar on strike to face up to Budaza. That is bowled outside of stump, and a play and miss from Pinar sees a rare and very much valued dot ball delivery for the Knights. Budaza to continue to Pinar. Nicely played into the offside where the fielder comes around. Does the tidying up, the fielder being Jason Raubenheimer. And a good throw towards the keeper. As Roscoe Speckman comes on strike to face up to Budaza. That short, wide and cut away into the deep. Patrick Creer is situated out there and does well to keep it down to 1. A cannon arm brings it in and evades the keeper. But Mosele is in place to back up and prevent any further runs being added to the total. Budaza to continue to Pinar. Nicely played. And Kleinhans has a shot at the stumps. One has to feel directly, it would have been close, but no hit. And the batting team comes through for a single. Speckman back on strike. And a huge swing from Speckman. A big appeal from Budaza, but the umpire is unmoved. I have to say, not much enthusiasm from the rest of the fielding side. As we see the end of the over coming ever closer for Budaza. That is chopped on from Speckman, and Budaza cleans him up. His off stump goes on a trip to the keeper, and that brings an end towards the innings of Roscoe Speckman, who has to depart for a well-compiled 30 and a well-timed wicket for the Knights team. That wicket, of course, brings together the partnership the fans have been waiting for, and a partnership that has been formed over a lot of time and a lot of years playing together. That wicket brings Frans Steyn to the crease to join his partner Ruan Pinar in the middle. With 51 required of 48 deliveries, the senior campaigners are in the middle to guide this team home. And we see a change of bowling from the Willows end. It looks to be Patrick Creer that will be bowling from this side, and Ruan Pinar to be on strike facing from the Loch Logan end. The equation, just once again to let the viewers know, the Toyota Cheetahs require 51 runs from 48 deliveries. The score now sitting at 133 for 2 after 12 overs, and the wicket of Roscoe Speckman being the last one to fall, that being on the last delivery of the previous over. The required rate at this stage, 6.5 and over, as we see Patrick Creer coming in to bowl some spin for the Knights. That is pushed out towards the deep point region for a single, and that brings Frans Steyn on strike for his first delivery of the match. Creer to Steyn. Short and cut away into the offside. Robenheimer comes around, does the tidying up and keeps it down to 1. That gets Frans Steyn off the mark. And I must say that was a nice delivery to get first up. Pienaar on strike. That is it. Back at Patrick Creer, the bowler, with immense power, and it was put down. And that was nicely struck, but picks out the bowler. That is it out towards deep mid wicket, where Van Tonder is situated. He does the fielding and reels it in. The ball comes in towards the bowler's end, where Patrick Creer collects the ball. 2 deliveries to come in the over. Frans Steyn. He has put that away behind square on the leg side. That is once again a no ball signalled by umpire Marlon Jansen, and put away for 4. This is a nice start to the innings by Frans Steyn. Couldn't imagine he would be unhappy with the start he has had to his innings. Free hit coming now from Patrick Creer, and I wouldn't imagine Steyn would be nudging this one. Frans Steyn nudges that one into the offside. And he takes a single off the free hit to get on the other end. Maybe farming a bit of a strike. Leaving Pienaar with 1 more to go in the over. Hit towards long on, where Sepia Kleinhans is situated. That is the end of the over. The score now 143 for 2 after 13 overs. The equation now 41 runs required or 42 deliveries, and the Knights dearly would like a few wickets here. Budaza to continue from the Loch Logan end, and it is Rohan Pienaar who would be on strike now to face up to Budaza, who had an impressive first over in this spell. Swing and a miss outside the off stump, and nicely taken by the wicketkeeper. And the Knights would appreciate a few of those now from Budaza. Pienaar on strike. That is it, down the ground. An impressive shot, excellent timing, and 4 more added to the total. Rohan Pienaar has really looked the part this evening. He is making cricket look very easy. He has smoked that down the ground, and he has absolutely annihilated the wickets at the non-striker's end. And the Knights have to feel thankful for the placement of the stumps, because I do feel that one might have been destined for the fence. Pienaar is a pure striker of the ball thus far. That is down the ground for a single. He hands a strike back to his partner Frans Steyn, and he leaves him with a few deliveries to come in the over. Budaza in from the Loch Logan end. Frans Steyn on strike. That is worked into the onside for a single. Patrick Creer does the tidying up. And then good throw comes in towards the keeper. One more delivery to come in the over. Budaza coming in from the Loch Logan end to Juan Pinar. Oh, and he cleans him up. That is an excellent delivery. That looked to tail back a bit. And the Knights dugout will be smiling after that. Juan Pinar departs for a well played 19 of 16 balls, 3 4s and 0 6s. He really did look good. He was a pure timer and striker of the ball and made for good viewing. As we see a change of bowling from the Willows end, it will be Patrick Botha who will be coming in for his second spell, and it will be Frans Steyn who is on strike to face up. The score now sitting at 149 for 3 after 14 overs, and the equation quite the simple one for the Cheetahs at this stage. A few wickets here and there might change it up. As you see Patrick Botha bowling seam up. Michael Pretorius with a shy, and it's a direct hit. Umpire Marlon Jansen unmoved, and he says not out. Mr. Frans Steyn can keep on batting. The equation now 35 required of 36 balls. With that single added, it will be 34 of 35 balls. So just under run a ball required at this stage for the Toyota Cheetahs. And Patrick Botha in. Played into the offside, and they come through for a single. The new batsman, according to what we have heard, is Coach Harvey's Fourie, but it looks to be uncertain at this stage. But it does look to be Coach Harvey's that is batting. Frans Steyn punches that one nicely down the ground for a single, and that one brings the required rate down just that much lower. That's good pace from Botha as he beats the batsman. All ends up and nicely taken by the wicket keeper. The new batsman just trying to find his feet here. As we see Botha trying to string together a few dots here. Once again beaten on the inside this time. And apologies, the batsman seems to be Kieris that is in the middle now, not Coach Harvey's Fourie. As we see Frans Steyn tying his shoelaces at the non-striker's end. And thus far it has been a rather impressive and economical over from Pat Botha. Punch into the leg side and no run added to the total. Nicely tidied up by Michael Pretorius, and that brings an end to another Patrick Botha over. That takes the score to 152 for 3 after 15 overs, leaving 5 overs to come. The equation now 32 they need of 30 balls. I have to feel a quiet over here from the Knights. Might keep them in the game. Maybe a wicket or two. A few dots. And we might be in for a good finish. Albert Kieres, of course, being the kicking coach of the Toyota Cheetahs, and how fitting it is him batting together with one of the great kickers of all time and one of the good long-range kickers in Frans Steyn. One has to feel if Frans Steyn, the rugby player, would kick a ball and Frans Steyn, the cricket player, would hit the ball, who would win in distance? I think it might be close. Nudge into the offside, and a poor throw gives the Cheetahs an opportunity to add 2 more to the total. Oh, and they go for another one, and a bit of confusion between the kicking staff, and Mr. Kieres has to depart. Maybe getting a bit greedy, trying to run too much, and the run out being one of the umpire's more easier decisions to make this evening. The score now 153 for 3 after 15.1, just waiting for the added runs to come to add on, as we see the new batsman coming into the middle to join Frans Steyn. Pretorius in towards Frans Steyn from the Loch Logan end. That is driven towards point where Kleinhans does the fielding, and no run added to the total. There is still uncertainty about who is the batsman that has come out to the middle. To me, it looks to be Brandon Thompson, but I am unsure at this stage. Pretorius in towards Frans Steyn. Nicely driven down the ground towards mid-off, or the long-off region, where Robenheimer does the tidying up. And a good shot once again from Frans Steyn at the non-striker's end, just preventing Pretorius from gathering the ball cleanly. Thompson now facing up for his first delivery. It's a play and miss outside the off stump, and well bowled by Michael Pretorius. The game getting ever closer and ever more tighter. Oh, what we would give for a super over here tonight. Driven. Kleinhans paddles back at point and takes a good catch. Brandon Thompson has to depart. And a good piece of fielding by Kleinhans sees the end of Thompson. And a cluster of wickets falling now for the Cheetahs. We might be in for a thriller of an end here, as we see yet another Cheetah batsman heading towards the dugout. As we see a slight little fines meeting between Van Tonder, Pretorius and Steyn at the bowler's end. Frans Steyn, of course, waiting for his partner to come out. And not sure at this stage who the batsman is. If you maybe can find out who it is before the scorers put it up, let me know. And then I can enlighten the viewers. That also brought an end to the Pretorius over. We have a change in bowling at the Willows end. We have Jock Snyman coming in for his third over of his spell. That is called a wide ball by umpire Marlon Jansen, as Jacques Snyman just misses the mark and slides down leg, and 1 run added to extras. That hits the pad, and they scamper through for a single. Leg by signaled by umpire Jansen, which brings the evergreen Frans Steyn back on strike to face Jacques Snyman. Pushed in towards the offside, and they push for 2, but I don't think they will come back. Nicely tied up by Patrick Creer, and keeps it down to 1. That is driven towards point. A mix up in the middle, and a fumble in the field ensures that Frans Steyn can get back towards his crease. The scorers have indicated that the new batsman is the Toy, and a nicely bowled slow ball by Snyman, and the Toy does not get it away, and another dot ball added. The equation now once again down the leg side, and umpire Jansen indicates that it is off his pad, so no wide ball signaled. Another dot ball added to the tally, which leaves it unchanged. The Toy hits it out towards the sweeper region where Patrick Creer is situated. Comes around, picks it up and throws it in towards the bowling end, where Jacques Snyman collects it to try and close out his over and minimize the damage. Nicely bowled and well played by Frans Steyn. He has whipped that away through the square leg region for 4. That was a well bowled delivery, and excellently played by Frans Steyn towards square leg for 4. That brings an end to another over. The score now 166 for 5 after 17 overs. The equation being 18 runs off 18 deliveries, thus leaving it at a runner ball, leaving much to be done by the night side if they want to win this game. Cheetahs just have to go on, nudge it around, see it through and keep their composure, because they are in the driving seat at this stage. Budaza in from the Loch Logan end. Driven towards point where Michael Pretorius tidies up. That is another dot ball added to the bowling. A huge appeal for caught behind down leg, but umpire says not out. It is off his pad. I have to say that was not an appeal with good enthusiasm. The bowler was on his own. And those 2 dot balls being worth gold. The equation now 18 of 16. Budaza smears that one over cover. The fielder reels it in, and it's only a single, which brings the in-form Frans Steyn back on strike. Budaza to continue from the Loch Logan end to Frans Steyn, and one has to feel this is an important few deliveries coming. Punch down the ground, and Snyman comes around in the cover region and tidies up, keeps it down to 1. Budaza to the Toy. Punch down the ground towards long off, where Obenheimer does a tidying up, and they come through for a single. Budaza to Frans Steyn from the Loch Logan end. Whipped away once again between square leg and mid wicket, and it goes away for 4. Patrick Creer could not come around and cut that off. 4 more added to the total, and Frans Steyn just relieving the bit of pressure that was building. And one has to feel if the Knights want any chance of winning this, they have to remove Frans Steyn. As we see Michael Pretorius coming in from the Willow's End with the toy facing at the Loch Logan end. The equation now 11 runs off 12 deliveries, and one has to feel this is the Toyota Cheetahs game to lose, but the wicket of Frans Steyn being ever important here. Can Michael Pretorius be the Steyn remover? Nicely fielded by Botha at extra cover. Keeps it down to a dot ball. And dot balls at this stage with cold. The Knights will ideally want a few more now. Another dot ball by Pretorius, and a bit of pressure maybe building now on the Cheetahs. The Toy has to make a move here. A big swing and a bit of a miscue into the leg side. Snyman comes in from the mid-on fence. Keeps it down to one. However, I don't feel the Cheetahs were looking for much more than one. They'd ideally want their star player in Frans Steyn to finish this game for them. Frans Steyn, of course, have finished a lot of games for the Cheetahs and the Springboks, as well as other club teams around the world. He knows how to finish a game. Punch down the ground, Snyman chases and cuts it off. That is excellent fielding, and will that save be vital in the end of this game? That is 2 runs that Jock Snyman has saved for his team. Keep that in mind at the end of this game, folks, because that 2 runs in a T20 game, every run matters. Pretorius to continue from the Willow's End to Frans Steyn. Driven towards the sweeper region. Patrick Kerr has a lot of work to do. He comes around, tidies it up. There's a mix-up in the middle, but the ball comes in and they settle for 1. The equation now 7 runs to win off 7 deliveries. And what an important ball this one now is. Michael Pretorius in towards the Toy. Something on that one, and the umpire gives it. Marlon Jansen sends the Toy packing, and Michael Pretorius comes good for the Knights. The equation now 7 runs of 6 deliveries, and we're in for a final over thriller. The Toy departs for 8 of 11 deliveries, and the new batsman at the wicket, we are waiting on confirmation to see who it is, but at this stage I don't think it matters all that much who's coming in. At this stage it is Frans Steyn against the Knights. Frans Steyn against the Knights. Who will come out on top? 7 runs required of 6 balls. What will a Frans Steyn wicket do in the context of this game? We are in for a thriller here. Who will bowl the final over for the ITEC Knights? It looks to be Patrick Botha who will be bowling the final over for the Knights. He will be coming from the Loch Logan end. The equation 7 runs of 6 deliveries. The total 177 for 6 of 19. Who will come out on top in this Bloemfontein battle? As you see a few changes in the field. Botha trying to get his field right. Botha into Frans Steyn. 6 of 7. And a dot ball. A dot ball, a dot ball, a dot ball. In the context of a game, that is huge. 7 required of 5 deliveries. Will Frans Steyn see his side through once again? Ooh, and they take the single. I don't know if the Cheetahs will regret taking that bye, but they come through for the single. And the new batsman is Arnoldi. will be facing up now to Patrick Botha. The equation now 6 runs off 4 deliveries. Botha. He chopped it on. Arnoldi has to depart. He's out. It's a wicket for Botha, but more importantly in the context of a game, it's a dot ball and Frans Steyn is stranded at the other end. The score now 179 for 8. New batsman coming into the wicket. Frans Steyn still at the wicket but off strike. Patrick Botha. Kneels of steel so far in this over. The new batsman at the wicket. The one we've all been waiting for. Coach Harvey's Fury has come to the wicket. Will he see his side through? Or will Patrick Botha win it for the Knights? The equation now 6 runs required of 3 balls. Coach Harvey's Fury on strike. Frans Steyn at the non-striker's end. 2 runs required per ball here. Who will come out on top in the Bloom battle? Patrick Botha in towards Coach Harvey's. And it's a wide ball. 1 run added to the total. The equation now 5 of 3. Maybe a bit of pressure building here on the Knights. The match slipping into their hands and might as well out. That is well bowled and well played down the ground. They scamper for a single. Will they come back for a second? Frans Steyn puts on the jet shoes and goes through for a second. Coach Harvey's Fury adds 2 to the total. The equation now 3 of 2. We are in for a thriller. Botha off the pad, and it's a dot ball delivery. And a special shout out to a long time supporter of Free State Rugby and Cricket and a lifelong supporter for years to come. A dear friend of mine, Werner Swart, tuning in to watch his Euros play. Botha, and it's a wide ball single by the umpire. 2 runs required of 1 delivery. Coach Harvey's Fury on strike. Frans Steyn at the other end can only watch as Coach Harvey's has to pull it through for the boys. They run! They scamper a single. And we have a tie. Can you believe it, folks? We have a tie at the Mangaung Oval. Scores are leveled. Will we have a super over? We are going to a super over, it sounds like. Just waiting on confirmation to hear if we will have a super over or the scores are tied. We will be right back. Thanks for tuning in. The match has been drawn. We will find out about confirmation about a super over. We are back live at the Mangaung Oval for a super over between the Knights and the Cheetahs. And if you look at your screens now, you might see someone that is familiar that will bowl this over. Perhaps someone that few of the older people would know. If you look closely to identify the action, it looks to be the Knights coach, Alan Donald, that is bowling the final over. As few of the viewers have pointed out, it is the one and only Alan Donald that is bowling the super over for the Knights this evening. It is a clash of legends. It's Coach Jarvis Fury, Coach Alan Donald and Frans Steyn in a battle. It's coach versus coach. It's Alan Donald bowling to Coach Jarvis Fury. Alan Donald rolling back to years. In from the Loch Logan end. Down a leg side. Nicely fielded by Jock Snyman. Keeps it down to 1. And what a treat we have witnessed here tonight. We have seen it all. Legends against legends. Alan Donald bowling to Frans Steyn. And Frans Steyn absolutely smokes him over the fence. That is over the long on boundary for a huge 6. Frans Steyn has absolutely demolished that ball. How much will the Cheetahs side set the Knights here tonight? Alan Donald once again in towards Frans Steyn. That is hit down the ground. Frans Steyn settles for, hey, and they come back. No, they don't. They settle for 1. It brings Coach Jarvis Fury back on strike to face up to one of South Africa's greatest of all time, Alan Donald. As we see Coach Jarvis coming off, being substituted, and a new batsman coming out to face the delivery at the Mangaung Oval. The chances being very close to 100% that whoever's coming out to bat now is facing one of their childhood heroes and an icon of South African sport in general. Alan Donald, rolling back to years, bowling at the Mangaung Oval. He has hit that over mid-off and it plugs in the outfield. Frans Steyn slips at the non-striker's end. And they settle for 2 or 3. And the Cheetahs end on 12 runs. The required score for the ITEC Knights then 13 of 6 deliveries. And the spectators really don't have anything to complain about tonight. They have gotten full value for their money. They have seen it all. A full 20 over game and a super over. They have seen the legends. Alan Donald has bowled. Ron Pienaar, Frans Steyn and Coach Jarvis has batted. We have really seen it all. we have been treated to an absolute spectacle under the lights here at the Mangaung Oval in central South Africa. We will be right back after the change of innings, and we will just wait for confirmation. We'll be batting for the ITEC Knights, and then also we'll be bowling for the Toyota Cheetahs. Welcome back to the Mangaung Oval, where the ITEC Knights are chasing 13 runs to win. The Toyota Cheetahs made 12. As we see the batsman coming out to the middle, it looks to me to be Jock Snyman, who is situated at the Willow's end at this stage, and I think it is Patrick Creer that is situated at the Loch Logan end. And once again, we thank all the viewers for coming in. And even the online viewers, I think, have gotten full value for their money or their time in this instance, as we will now see Ruan Pinar bowling the last over of the match. That is, in fact, if they don't tie again, and we have to have another super over. Ruan Pinar into ball from the Loch Logan end. It will be Jock Snyman on strike. And we thank all our viewers coming in from around the world. We even have viewers in from UAE and Dubai who have messaged me and thanked me for the comments. Divan and Werner there in Dubai and UAE. We welcome you to this platform as well. As we see Ruan Pinar in from the Loch Logan end. Jock Snyman works that into the offside for a single. And the Knights now on 1 run, which brings Patrick Creer on strike to face up to Juan Pinar. Swept away, back with a square. Coach Jarvis is situated there on the boundary. He reels it in and they complete a single. Will we see another super over tonight? Juan Pinar in towards Jock Snyman. And he has absolutely moosed that ball over the fence into the sweets. And the fielder down at long on has one-handed that ball from the wall. And he's claiming the catch. That is 6 runs added to the total for Jock Snyman. And the score now 8 runs off 3 balls. Snyman has hit that with immense power down the ground. That's 4 more added to the total. And scores are leveled at 12. Will we see 2 dot balls now? As you see, wicketkeeper Roscoe Speckman telling all the fielders to come in. Patrick Creer taking guard left-handed for this last 2 deliveries. And me, as a fan of cricket, I do hope for 2 dot balls here to keep the spectacle going. It's not to be, as Patrick Creer absolutely smokes that ball over the onside for 4, and the Knights have won this one. What a battle, what a match, what a spectacle. Thanks for joining in tonight, and we hope to see more of these fixtures in the coming times. From us here at the Mangong Oval, thanks for tuning in, and have a good night. And congratulations to the ITEC Knights who have won the Super Over.